Good evening, everyone, and Happy New Year 20 Pledge. And to the republic for which it stands. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to the...
Please. So this evening, I wanted to bring out and introduce and swear, whichever way. So we have Officer Hector. Preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution. So help me God. So help me God. Thank you, gentlemen. Now, I'm having family members present them. So presenting them for Hector Lovano is his wife, Roxanne. Thank you. Thank you. Talk about it.
Our two biggest events in the history of Garden Ridge but we did that undermanned, seriously, by 3 patrol officer positions for filling those positions. Garden Ridge to the best of my ability. And so we've got Hector and Roxanne, correct? I should not be doing this. Hector and Diane and Scott. And Scott and I and Nancy know each other from...
Okay, and you've met the mayor.
Yep.
Rob Erickson. So I'm going to introduce you to the rest of the council. Mayor Pro Tem Lisa Swint. I got a whole...
I failed to mention that Sal's mom, Marianne, is here as well. So, great job, everybody. That concludes item number 3. We're on to item number 4. Citizens, we're listening even though we're taking notes. So,
Okay. She asked me to start over. 3 questions about the treatment of former Mayor Thompson. The answer is no. After over 6 months of asking questions, I had to conceal information that I've sought. As I've mentioned before, it took involving State Attorney General Ken Paxton's office to force the release of some information. The city has wasted, that's right, wasted almost $15,000 to settle what I feel is a grudge against former Mayor Thompson. That may be the only chance we will have to get the truth out of official city records. As a matter of fact, the papers that Mayor Thompson was accused of destroying in plain view of the city administrator were in fact his personal notes. If the city administrator or council would have taken the time to, maybe members of the city administration and council did know this, but they were determined to settle their grudges against Mayor Thompson. I shouldn't be surprised though. The city administrator is rumored to have had issues with the last 3 former mayors. Everything from he waits until the last minute to make changes to the council meeting agenda, to she can't make a decision, to he's too demanding. You can fill in the names. This month begins the 2020 letter to then Mayor Canals because I felt I was lied in my resignation letter. My advice to prospective candidates is to always watch your... Lastly, one would think that after helping 4 current members of council get elected, donating thousands of volunteers, planning the 4th of July picnic, and many other things, council would at least have the courtesy to respond to my questions. Whatever this council is hiding, it must be extremely damaging.
thank you, Shelby. Next on the list is Mr.
Several reasons. I'm tired of hearing sour grapes. You people are doing one hell of a job. And the people that are picking on Nancy Kane, no excuse. She's doing one great job. She wouldn't have been voted in number 1 out of 4 in the state of Texas. She's doing... The next thing I have is, I called the borough for civil defense. Now it's Homeland Security. I want to know what we're doing, so that we have state assistance, because there's money available from the state. I talked to Donna Campbell's office, and there's money available, and there's also equipment available. We'd like you to look into it, and so we keep our residents safe, and we have in a bind. You can't say, well, take it up to the dumpsters, because not everybody has much, and I'm proud of you guys, behind you 100%. Tired of the sour grapes. And Nancy.
Thanks, Tony. Okay, no separate discussion or action be heard during citizens' participation. However, that does not mean the item will be considered outside of the agenda. Starting on my right.
Move to approve the consent agenda.
We have a motion to approve the consent agenda. Do I have a second? Just under the wire. Any further discussion? I'll call it. Right on to item number 6.
When the resident's husband had passed. She said they were both exams we had for this month. Now we have that was a peppy video. 82 hours, 91 were in the library, and 291 from the Parks Committee. Of those 230 of those hours from committee members themselves, and 61 from non-membership. The next thing I wanted to report on is that we're working with Comal County Tax Office and Ridge during the month of January, and then on Tuesday, January 31st, from 10 to 4, people can DMV questions concerning registered owners of a one as of about, I think, 1:30 this afternoon. And they have upped our bond rate step for the city. It's kind of almost unheard of for a city of our size to have. Congratulations. That is really all I had to report.
That's awesome, Nancy. A lot of that is due to the carryover, just like Nancy said, this council, along with the city staff, exercises you're very fiscally minded. So it takes all of us to do that, and is how many main gathering place, Paul Davis Park, we just added a full acre to that. So would have gone for sale commercially, Blazing Star into that back. Sorry, Rod. It's okay. All right, thanks, Nancy. Finance and HR Monthly Activity Report. Christine, ma'am, the floor is yours.
Fiscal year 22 audit will be presented to council.
The highlight on my report, first one is upcoming holidays. So City Hall will be closed on Monday in May. This year that falls on May 6th. And the filing period once the filing deadline is with additional information. So if you're interested, see the election page.
It's great to see. Did you actually get her? Fantastic. Thank you to you both.
Report that you have there, most importantly being at the bottom, the 3 officers that I just introduced. So he will get started with us. I'm not going to bring him in here in front of the cameras and put him out, but next week or so that y'all have a chance to review it before the February meeting. And anybody interested, call Jill or go online, get one of our applications. Don't shoot scenarios to the academy as well to add.
Some Chief, thanks. Council, anything for the chief?
Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
Thank you now. So I know we had some.
Good evening. 2 things. Our anniversary year, we planted 2 trees in honor of our 2 more dogs, so we are now down to 1 dog at the kennels.
It's great work, Eric. Thanks so much. And Public Works with everything that freeze and all that kind of stuff. So 2022 was a great year. And okay, Dwayne.
Pumped 37.85 acre feet, 460. Unaccountable of 6.5%. Installed, we had 1 meter. Work orders 322, locates 27. Total AMI notifications for December 686, the same, remained. AMI customers 394, up 4. Abnormal 139, up 28. Leak.
Anything for Dwayne? I'll start on.
Watching managing the well pumping for the, Yes. we're got down as close as we could. Great job this year, even with the drought, and
Thank you.
The usage was up. Y'all did a great job. San Antonio Pool, the Edwards, cutting us back, water losses. So 177 acres.
Yes.
I'll continue on through the year. If it goes to 4 or 5, that number even gets smaller. I mean, the daily, I think that's a great job. That spreadsheet keeps, helps y'all manage keeping the well sites, running during the cold temperature.
Because of the drought, the exceptional drought that we're in, which is the highest level. Bring out the delta there to have a safe 9-acre amount of planning and Public Works together. What you guys do is remarkable. We with those conversations with you, and then we're able to manage it. So I know you'll both pass that on to Stephen and the whole team, everybody. 2023, and let's talk about 2023. So we're still in stage 3 with SAW soon. However, There is perhaps, El Nino for us means more rain, most likely, the ocean. So what we are trending to right now, it looks like we may, in the coming months, extra rain that year. So that was good. But hopefully if it is or isn't, doesn't matter. You're still going to do great work. And thanks for everything you guys do. And we're going to. Happy birthday.
Thank you very much. Tonight, Texas celebrated its 177th anniversary. And speaking of anniversaries, the library. My quote for this month was, Gisley, since I found this, what you will do and you will help us to do. Of course, instead of doing a New Year's resolution, three new programs. We have about 21 programs going. Mad About Science once a week. There we go. We're going back to science, and where we do just wonderful experiment. Patricia Ann is going to lead a group of young adults who are 18 and on, lining up speakers for some health talks Tuesday evenings. We have the first one, the topic and the speaker is here to see her daughter and son. So here, instead of buying them, they saved $135,479 for. So I think we're doing a great. So I hope you're all planning in lieu of a laser light show. There will be tasty wine as well as other non-alcoholic drinks. So
Thank you so much, Linda. I'd say we're going to be there. Can't wait. All right, that concludes item number 6. Sam Johnson, item number 7, City Engineer Project. Happy New Year, and the floor is yours, Sam.
Good evening. Happy New Year. I've been dealing with a lot personally. Let me quit crying like a big baby. TxDOT project, we are coordinating with TxDOT at the moment. Every time we submit something, we get more some questions about development projects.
And possible actions. 8A is planning and zoning. They did not meet in the report. 8C is the new chairperson. Happy New Year. It's good to see you.
We did have one meeting. It went very well. We do have 4 scheduled for this coming month. I should knock on wood before I say that, but the team is working very, very well together coming up this month, and one will be the actually organizational. So those are the 2 biggies that are remaining. But again, with 4 meetings,
So, see you Monday. Committee, success.
It is in the books, thank God.
It's good to see you. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to
Floor is-
Thursday, January 11th at 9:30 at the Bluebonnet Room at the Community Center. We rounded out or ended 2022 with just short of 2,000 in the front entryway. We'll make sure that those are taken care of. And also, once again, Audi North Park and support, we could not have had the celebration that we did have. And also a review of the draft changes for ordinance number 24. Email.com and Mr.
Committee. Other than job well done. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Looking forward to organizations. The following items are for discussion, consideration, and action. 9A, ordinative and savings clause providing for the Water Commission. Okay, council, this is something that we put into action with an amendment of 210, our ordinance for commissions, being candidates for the vacancy in front of everybody and then talk about them. I felt that was a little bit awkward, and we had feedback from our residents that, hey, there's probably a better way to do that. So with that change was to fill a vacancy on the water. No, Leaf, you're good. All right, so, but our audience, and council may or may not have.
So done very a lot of good work for that, so I appreciate you coming forward.
Early on, straightforward, so thank you for that. So, no other questions?
Aye.
Any opposed? Passes week where we'll discuss at the luncheon with NEP regarding when we plan to go in buses to go show our presence as the Northeast Partnership up there. I plan that to be our first event, as a council going up there, and it would take 2 months to put something like that together. The plan is to meet with Donna Campbell and her office up there along with specifically for us, Carrie Eisen. People that are coming into the office, they actually don't get sworn in until next Tuesday, so difficult to get a hold of our new representative, Carrie Isaac, and we are still reaching out to Senator Donna Campbell's office for some help on some things. What else? The website is not as nice as Garden Ridge's website and not as user-friendly for the Texas government website. So I'm still navigating through that, but I'm going to keep you updated as soon as we get things that are coming down that affect us, and we will continue to keep this as an open item to talk about through the rest of this legislative session that happens once every 2 years. It's the 88th Congress. Questions for me? Great. Awesome. All right, we will move on to updates. Item number 10, Council City projects. So the first one is mitigation of growth and encroachment impacts on Garden Ridge. Lisa, that's you and I.
I really don't have any update for that one. December was a quick month.
It will later on. Do you have, and I know and we're talking about 2252 specifically, the bridge over Cibolo Creek and the mess that is and the traffic jam that it is every day, almost all day. It was due to any work being done there. That's why, Kay, you were told December, and that was in September, right? And it wasn't done in December. So once that is completed, then Mr. Lockett said they will rock and roll on the rest of it to get it completed, but he said summer of 2023. So I would knock on wood, but I'm not doing that in 2023. So it's frustrating. We're going to stay on top of it as best we can as a city, and specifically as the mayor. So that's the only update. I know that's not great news for any of us. So on to the Great Springs project with Lisa and Jesse.
So Jesse, Nancy, and I met again with David from the Great Springs Project to talk about the Texas Parks and Wildlife Division Recreational Trails Grant that's coming up. We applied a couple of years ago and missed it by just a few points. And David is reworking that grant and really beefing it up for us. He's really good at maps and visualization of things, and has real good insight into what it's looking for in the applications. We are going to meet with, going to be in this area. The application is due on February 1st, so we won't have any chance to present it, to council, but we wanted to let everybody know. When I submitted 2 years ago, we were talking about a half mile of concrete trail for $170,000. My guess is, just looking at some numbers today, that it would be closer to probably the low 200s. And it does require a 20% match. And it's a reimbursement program as well. So we certainly wanted to make sure that council was good going forward.
No, not that I can think of.
Yeah, we all felt like we could make that match happen. I don't even know if we need consensus.
I think consensus would be good.
Okay, so be more specific on what you want a consensus on for the record.
Just the application? What do you want me to?
Support in moving forward with the filing an application for the Texas Parks and Wildlife Trail Grant.
Council, do we have a consensus to move forward with the Texas Parks and Wildlife Trail Grant? Thumbs up will work.
That work?
Yes.
Unanimous thumbs up. You have consensus. Anything else to add?
Not on that.
Okay, so there's two parts that Lisa and I have been working on. We both attended Transportation Alternative Funding Workshop in Schertz back in December 8th. This was sponsored by the Great Springs Project Group and also the Alamo Area MPO. And this is for, looking to get either walking or bike trails from our residents to Garden Ridge Elementary School or Davenport High School. Okay, it's a little bit more involved. And the call for projects for TxDOT is going on right now and ends in a few weeks. But we were suggested to wait to go after the Alamo Area MPO grant because we'll have a better chance to get that one. That doesn't open until May 1st. So we got from May to August 1st to get that done. So we got time. That one's a little bit more involved, a little more, so we got some things they're working on. David's trying to get a meeting with us and a couple of TxDOT representatives to talk about right-of-ways and what we can do, what's the future for 3009. And the issue, it's the same thing, it's also a reimbursement program. So that means we have to have the funds up front. We don't get reimbursed until later. Again, it's 20%, plus 20%, plus all the engineering fees are on us. They only cover 80% of the construction cost. Okay? So
And
all
it's a minimum of $1 million.
Yes, so that's a lot of money. So we need to really get the scope, Jay Palakic, I think, and give a report. And that actually is free. So we'll take advantage of that.
It's called a walkable community workshop.
Right, yeah, walkable. community.
And I mean, I don't know if we need consensus on that to move that forward as well. I mean, they come out, they work with the citizens, they, ultimately ends up in a report on, options for walking and biking through the city. Do we need to agree that we want to go forward with that?
Going forward with the Walkable Community Workshop.
Correct.
Exactly, yeah.
Council, can I get a thumbs up from everybody if you're in favor of consensus of going forward with the Walkable Community Workshop?
Yeah.
100% thumbs up, double from Todd.
And it's, like I said, if we go further with the grant, it's, like I said, it's minimum $1 million. That's going to be a big, risk involved if we have to put it up front. And so that's all I have.
Great work. Council Liaison to Tri-County Chamber of Commerce.
Well, unfortunately, I don't have any, and provide a lot of resources for people here. I mean, things to do, places to go, and of interest rates, things like that, and so, unfortunately, we don't have any more information on that, but we have a ton of interest in Garden Ridge right now, and I think that's very exciting. When 6-8 months ago, some of the same people that I am talking to now heavily didn't have any interest. So that is a very positive thing.
Compadre, Mr. Smith, rookie that he is. And I will continue to go to the luncheons. They're the second Tuesday of the month, and I go and make whatever connections I can and then report back. So they always ask about Kelly or what Kelly has.
That's huge.
I've got a comment.
Oh, go.
Oh, it's actually a question for Tom. Reinvent the Garden Ridge Area Business Alliance to help with economic development. Right. Okay.
Awesome, great comment. Thank you. Jesse, anything for Alamo Area Metropolitan MPO?
We have our next meeting is this coming Friday. Long agenda item. I haven't gone through all the packet yet. But one thing is just trying to meet more TxDOT people to see if we can get 3 of 09 on expansion here. We're in the forecast. It took a lot forever to get 2252 on there, and, it's still going to take forever to finish it. So we need to get 3 of 09 on here. So next council meeting to do a presentation on the MPO.
Outstanding. Thank you, Jesse. It sounds like I need to make another comment to Comal County Judge Krause and Scott Hogg about upping their priority as a county for TxDOT improvements. So that 3009 goes from 9 to higher.
Yeah. So the connections I have is with Kevin Wolf, one of the commissioners, who's also the chair of the Transportation Policy Board, and the in the county engineer, Tom Horst, yeah, working with them. Yeah, I almost did it next to him on the other commission meeting, so. Yeah, so we'll work separately, but, on the
Thank
same
you.
path, so.
Awesome. You can continue right on to anything further to add other than your comments for Water Committee?
Nothing
or
at this, no,
Commission?
nothing, no updates. Thank
Okay,
you.
great. Todd, you and I are on deck for council liaison to Comal ISD.
I don't have anything new. Christmas break, so
Yeah, you bet.
the last Camel Forward meeting was back in December. We talked about the potential bond coming up. The next meeting is Monday, so I'll
Okay.
have some information after that meeting. Still working on getting Dr. Chapman out here to come to a council meeting or come to do lunch with us or whatever we can get into his schedule for. So once
So
I got a date and time for that.
What's
I'll
better
make
for
sure everybody
you,
knows.
breakfast or lunch? Or meeting after work?
I can make it work.
Okay.
I'm a big fan of a certain breakfast taco place up the road here, so.
Okay. All right. Coffee and some breakfast tacos. I'll set it up. It's time for us to meet him
Yeah,
officially.
I've asked Steve, who's the communications director, a bunch of times about it, and he's like, you guys are on the list. It's just a matter of when we go. So maybe the mayor's office putting a plug might help, too.
Yep.
I,
I'll give him a shout. Perfect. Kay, that brings us to you and I for city signage.
Excuse me, as we've discussed, we want to keep that going because it's possible that we will be able to initiate something this spring, whether it be on the water tower or on our entrance down on 3009 by Shanethal. So it's just keeping in touch with those two guys, the two separate gentlemen, and keeping it going.
Awesome. Lisa, I know you had contact with a muralist, right?
Yes. I have a friend who's a muralist, and she does do large-scale logos and murals, but I have no idea what the dimensions would be for the water tower. You want me to turn her over to you and see if you can't work on that? Okay. Okay.
Perfect. Thank you. Anything else? Okay.
No,
Okay,
thanks.
Great, thanks. That ends us with item number 10. On to item number 11, discussion of future agenda items. Anybody have anything you want to put on there for next month? Okay, moving on to 12, citizen comment period. You don't have to have signed up for this one. You get 2 minutes. Anybody want to come forward? Dr. Michael Crow, it's good to see you, sir. Happy New Year. There you go.
Happy New Year.
Floor is yours.
Michael Crow, 8315 Wellland Park. First of all, I want to say once again, I really do appreciate the dumpster days. Absolutely. Take full advantage of it. The only thing I ask is really just to ask what days we do and what days we don't get help with like leaves, putting them into the dumpster. Sometimes we get help, sometimes we don't. Not everybody can lift up over 8 feet over their head with leaves, whether they're loose or in bags. So what days can you please identify so we all can plan accordingly? Thank you.
Great comment. Thank you, sir. Sharon. Happy New Year. We're great. Yes, ma'am, you do. It's great to see you. Happy New Year. The floor is yours.
Sharon Stripling, 21729 Forest Water Circle. And this came to mind because of something Nancy said about acquiring land by Paul Davis Park. I have 5 grandchildren between the ages of 2 and 6, so I visit Paul Davis Park a lot. There's some, and I don't want to say they're aggressive, but some intimidating dogs on one side of the park. And I have witnessed with my grandkids there, which is sort of scary. It's not the dogs being aggressive, but it's kids taunting the dogs. So I don't think we can put the blame all on that resident's dogs. I think he does have an electronic fence or something. We've tried to put up, but I almost wish we could put up some kind of barrier where they cannot really see each other, because I'm afraid eventually one of those dogs is going to come right over, and one of those kids that's taunting them is going to blame it all on the dog. And witnessed it several times. It was not the dog, it was the kids running up to the fence, yelling at him, throwing stuff at him. And I just think the city ought to be aware of that. I think it was called in one time or reported, because there's several posts on social media about it as well. And I would hate to see the city be liable for something when we could maybe have tried to prevent it and bit on some instances. So if maybe we could look into that and maybe not have trouble down the road. Thank you.
Thank you, Sharon. Anyone else about all of these things listed? I'll look to my left. Kay, any comments on this?
No, just, well, the Tri-County, their annual event was spectacular. Definitely worth, and it is a good networking thing, a lot of fun. And one of our, very few are actually from Garden Ridge. Very few of the members are from Garden Ridge, but in this case, we have a connection.
Outstanding. Thanks, Kay. Anybody else? Todd, what do you got?
Boy Scouts, we did our road cleanup along 2252 down by Brackett United Families of Garden Ridge.
Good idea.
Yeah.
What are you doing on Saturday the 4th?
Not another road cleanup because we just did it.
All right. Position.
You liked it?
Yeah, because
Okay.
Families of Garden Ridge, our next cleanup will be on the other section of 2252 on Saturday, the 4th of February, 2023, from 8 to 10. We get it and then go, hey, time to go. Great idea. Okay.
I've got one.
You go.
Just a shout out for the Garden Ridge Women's Club. They have started to put out information about their Valentine's dance, and he's really good and a ton of fun. So look on social media for more info.
Thanks, Lisa. Jesse, anything?
And sponsored by Veterinaire. And I'm trying to get confirmation on a mixer. There's usually one in every month, but for a mixer, yeah.
Yeah,
Which should be
okay.
the third Thursday.
Right.
Outstanding. Welcome to your 50s, by the way. Rookie.
Hey, I don't fill a day over 63.
Outstanding. We've got our Comal County luncheon next Monday, right, Nancy? I'm going. Who all's going? Yay. You, Todd? It's lunch. Kelly? It's lunch.
Go find Will Lockett.
That's right. And then Northeast Partnership is next Thursday, luncheon. Who's going? Yay, Todd.
That's easier for me.
Whoa, really?
One at Oakville Hills, right?
Yeah.
Next Thursday?
Next Thursday, 11:30.
Put it on the schedule.
Yay. Lise?
I gotta check the paper calendar.
Okay. Lisa might be going. Kelly? Ah, okay. All right, and with Northeast, you'll get there one of these days. Okay. With Northeast Partnership, a shout out and congratulations to Schertz Mayor re-elected Ralph Gutierrez for another 3-year term with the runoff election that happened on yesterday, Tuesday, and then Stosh Boyle's replacement in Cibolo, because Stosh didn't run, is going to be Mark Allen, who's a current member of council and a really nice person. So we have reached out to both those individuals to say congratulations from the city of Garden Ridge, and we look forward to continuing our great relationship with both of those cities. So outstanding. That concludes item number 13. On to item number 14, executive session. The city council will recess its open meeting and reconvene in executive session. 14A, pursuant to Texas Government Code Section 551.0711 and 551.0712, consultation with attorney, and 551.072, deliberations about real property. 14A1, to consult with and receive legal advice regarding variance and special use permit processes related to development project Guadalupe Ready Mix, proposed concrete batch plant at 2762 FM 2252. We stand adjourned at 7:13, and let's reconvene at 7:25 in the council chambers behind us.
We stand adjourned. Thanks. Happy New Year.